We are Steven and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
good day.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steven Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about scaling at your own pace. If there's one thing I've learned from all the successful people in the Land Academy Advanced group is that they sort of had a plan. They executed the plan. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. They stayed on course. They hit a plateau. They set another goal, scaled up, did what they needed to take, scaled up. They had a plan. And then we talked about this yesterday just a little bit. You hit that ceiling. Now you understand what you're doing, make some mistakes, healthy mistakes, and you just keep scaling. And you have to do it at your own pace. I think it's really important. When you're ready, that's the time to scale.
Okay.
You know, you can't just, there's a very rare type A personalities that can just barrel through this and just become successful at it.
True.
In a couple of months. I'm not that person. I have to do research and, you know, this one, maybe you barrel right into everything.
Thank you.
Anyway, I think
It smells like a bowl.
it's important to have, a plan and execute.
Thank you.
And that's all this is.
It's true.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Tyler wrote, "Hi all, I'm looking to outsource work, and I'm curious to what work you outsourced initially with a VA that was easy to pass off if you have used VAs before. I'm trying to free up more time to focus on other areas of the business. I appreciate your response."
This is a fantastic question and incredibly appropriate for the topic today.
Yep. I'd say the best thing to start with VAs are the very mundane tasks that don't involve talking on the phone and don't involve email, but they involve looking up things and then putting them into a column. And you need 100 of them or 1,000 of them or 10,000 of them. That is a perfect place to start. And then from there, do you want to add to that?
No, keep going. Keep going.
And then from there, you can start assessing, what you want done. Like, you could actually go from there to having them do deeds. You could go, that's basically, these are all my favorite things to use with VAs. It's just really no phone, no email. But they're very, very smart. So there's lots of things they can do on website. Say you need pictures uploaded. You can do 10 properties at a time. You could have the pictures in a folder. They can grab them, have them already in the order that you want them, and give them those tasks. The best thing that I have learned with this is from Steven, which is, it's one of the many great things that I've learned.
Goodness.
So,
for every one thing she's learned, there's 6 things she has to undo.
Yeah, well, there is that. But the best way that we have found to communicate with the VAs is via videos, because sometimes it's not the same person and they have questions and it's hard. There is a little language gap, but if there's a video and they see where you put in the website where you're going, and they see you on the camera, on the video, where you're getting the information, how you're putting in state, county, APN. It's usually like tax, maybe back tax information, copying it, putting it into the column here, that they can do. So that's it.
If you can video it and it's repetitive, that's tier 1 VA stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean video yourself doing it a few times and talking to them and then send the video up.
Screen capture.
Hey, by the way, if you need, we have a full-blown company in the Philippines. We probably have 6 people that work for us full-time in this group. And then the rest of our group uses the same group in the Philippines. So they know when you say, hey, we need to post some stuff on LandWatch or whatever, they know what to do. Mm-hmm. So if you need the name of that person, call support at Land Academy or email support at landacademy.com and they'll point you in the right direction. Yeah. You don't have to retrain somebody entirely. Like, what's land?
Right.
You don't want to start there. And we don't make any money off of this. It's just a helpful thing. Mm-hmm. We have people in our group that use VAs more and more to actually cold call people to answer their phones. And the group in the Philippines, our group, is getting more. They're growing with us. They're getting more and more adept to at filling the gaps for the stuff that we need. This is an integral part of scaling.
Mm-hmm.
So
giving away the stuff that slows you down, takes you time, because you need to free yourself up for the more important tasks.
Yep. That leads us right into the topic. Today's topic, scaling at your own pace. This is why you're listening. So you got the program. You're one of those people that actually is going to send mail out. You're not an investor. You gave yourself a couple weeks to learn and ask questions on landinvestors.com. You've been watching hopefully the podcast or listening to it. And you like the Thursday calls, and you're convinced that sending out mail to buy land is something that you want to do. So you start doing it, and you do your first deal. Everybody remembers their first deal. And you made a bunch of money, or you made a bunch of mistakes. Either one's fine in the beginning. And then you did your second deal. And then you sent out another mailer, and you're up to 5 deals now, and you're in. And so at this point, you're looking in the mirror saying, man, this one part of this business, if I could just get rid of this one part of this business, I could probably double how much money I make, because I love doing fill in the blank. For me it was, if I could just get rid of sales and just focus on doing mailers and acquisitions and just be an acquisition machine and shove off all my stuff to somebody who could just sell it, I could triple, quadruple what I do. Well, that's what happened with Jill and I. And Jill was my initial scale. This is before Land Academy. This was before Land Watch. It was before CoStar even existed, land.com. Before the VAs, before all of it. So Jill was my scaling springboard. And it worked out both of us, socially and professionally. So you have to figure out, you have to really ask yourself, if I could just get X, then I could do it. And then, so we did. And Jill literally times 10'd it. So when that happened, we times 10'd it. And then I guess probably a year later, I don't know, we never sat down and really did it. But in my head, I'm like, all right, wait a minute. What if we got rid of this? And what if we got Jill, transaction coordinator, so she could just do this other part? What if I got an assistant that actually did mailers for me, and I was only ever now making decisions on where to send mail, the real important stuff. Should we do this deal? And that's what happened. And so we had each of us, this is years ago, she had a key person. It has now, it's the same person. And I have a key person. Mm-hmm. And so the 4 of us, we times 50. Mm-hmm. Then we ran out of money, as you should. And so we just scaled up again and said, what if we had business partners, and we had, well, maybe we should start a group where we teach some stuff, and then we get our own business partners, mm-hmm. which is how Land Academy the creation of Land Academy in 2015 was a direct result of Jill and I saying, we need to find really good business partners, mm-hmm. from a money standpoint and then we found out soon after that, if we educate them our way, the cream will rise to the top, and that happened. So scaling, that's my version of scaling. This is a hot topic. Mm-hmm. It's a huge topic for people. And that's the name of the show, Scaling at Your Own Pace, or your own version of scaling. So this person who asked the question here, Tyler, he sees for some reason that VAs are his first step, or to pass off some of the stuff he doesn't want to do. It's very organic. Yeah, go ahead. My
way of seeing this topic is picking goals, and then this is some of your thing, and you break them into smaller steps, and then upping your goals every time. So here's my thing. How I see scaling at your own pace is, okay, you're here, you got Land Academy, you're in, you figure this out, you want to start buying property, you have a goal between now and the next 6 months, you want to make X amount of money. Okay, how am I going to do that? How many? And then you think, okay, if I got to buy for this and sell for this, and I know this is possible because I'm watching 300 other people do it, or however many, whatever, 500 people do it. Okay, now how many can I do a month with my commitments, my life, with everything? Okay, so now I know that in the next 6 months I want to do 25 deals, or 24 deals. So that's 4 a month. Am I doing the math right?
Yeah, let's just say you are.
What the heck?
It's 2, but okay.
Like, I can't even do the math. So anyway, that's funny. So I want to do X amount, and then you hit that goal, and then even just hold yourself to that goal, right? And then you can adjust it up or down. But I think once you hit that goal, you should try to double it if you can, or maybe 25%. I don't know. Again, you know what? This is called scaling your own pace. You hit that goal. Now you reassess how much work is involved, how much you want to do, what you need to outsource, what you need to change now to move it forward. And you need to push yourself, give yourself a percentage, and give yourself a new timeline. And we haven't talked about this in a long time, but so often, if you have a goal that's a realistic goal, and you write it down, stick it on your computer, you can even put a date on it, watch yourself hit it. It's weird, but it happens.
I talk about this in that first program. If you say it to yourself, as weird as this sounds, I'm not all voodoo on that at all.
Yeah.
It was she's right. If you write it down every day and you say it to yourself, it's going to happen.
Yep.
I'm going to make $1 million this year. I'm going to do 12 deals. I'm going to make $80,000 each deal. I'm going to do that.
I said a version of that.
I'm going to do it this month.
On December 1st was our first Land Academy ladies meeting. We have a closed group for all the ladies in Land Academy. And I said, wow, okay, everybody, write this down. You know, I didn't put a time limit. I didn't put a amount to it, but I just said, okay, it's December 1st, 2020. I can't wait to see where we all are on December 1st, 2021. So next I'm going to tell everybody we need to set some goals. I want to write down some numbers, and we're all going to see where we are when we come up on December 1, 2021, of this.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. And see how many of us.
Did you share?
You know what's funny? I just said at the end in closing, I'm like, we have such a strong group, and I'm so excited of what's possible here. It was our first meeting. We're just kind of all getting to know each other a little bit. So I think I'm going to ask us in an upcoming meeting, like, we need to set some goals for each other, for ourselves. And because part of it is holding each other accountable. It's a lot of helping. It's a lot of support for us emotionally and financially. And I still want to put some stuff on paper and see where we are at that, because I bet we'll hit them. So my whole thing is this: you don't have to try to compete. You're only competing with yourself. I don't want you feeling you're competing with us, or you're competing with somebody else that you know in Land Investors, or somebody else in your accountability group. I want you to set your own goals and feel good about it. And then as you hit these goals, what I think naturally happens is your momentum increases, and you find yourself going, well, shoot, now I can do it in 3 months. Well, shoot, now I can do that in a month. And then hold on to your hat. Wait do you see what happens?
Exactly. Here's some real examples of people in our group that I've actually interacted with over the years, whether it's at live events or like the interview on, if you haven't listened to the interview with Catherine and Michael Alon that aired 3 or 4 days ago, please go do that, because that's where this topic came from with me. They are setting their own goals. They hit them. Together they hit them. It took them 3 years, and they're happy with that. Mm-hmm. And they talk about it in that episode, resetting their goals to get to $500,000 net a year, and they're on track for that. Mm-hmm. And they know what types of they've done, good deals and bad deals, and they know they're now focused on how to do these good deals to get them to that goal. So they have a goal. Mm-hmm. We didn't even talk about scaling. They just innately, organically now keep raising the bar and keep allowing themselves, and this is key, allowing themselves the tools, finding the tools that are going to make this possible.
Right.
And Michael flat out said, all I have to do is just send out more mail. We finally have all this, I'm paraphrasing, but he said we finally have the stuff in place, the procedures in place, and my wife finally stopped working at her regular job, so she's freed up. So they're giving themselves slowly the tools and the time and planning to hit it.
I love it.
That's the key.
I love it. This is part of this, which is so fun. There's so many people that just getting started in a business is a big deal. So you need to think about not just short term, you need to think about long term. I really love that. And so I want you to even think about, give yourself 6 months plans, as you're just finding your pace, and then your 12-month plan and a 2-year plan and maybe even a 5-year plan. And it's not in stone. Have dates and milestones like at those times. Did I hit it at 6 months? What do I need to tweak? What do I want? How do I want to adjust it? Because you're going to probably find adjusting up those goals. And the other thing I was going to add too, which is really great, scaling can be deals. Scaling can be the number of transactions, the number of deals that you're closing. Scaling can be the dollar amounts that you're doing, because there's a lot of variations here. Scaling can be the size of your company.
The product type.
Yep. Scaling can be, how many people work for you, what you're doing. There's a lot of things to do. And this is stuff that we talk about in our closed community, and it needs to be talked about more. I think that's why we're doing this too. This is coming up right now, again, because so many people are like, I'm not new anymore.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking,
yes, Jill.
I'm thinking big picture. I've been with you guys for 5 years.
Like, I know I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I'm successfully putting it on my table, but now I think I can get rich doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not at my kitchen table anymore in a corner that I bring out my laptop now and then. Now I have a dedicated office, and I have someone answering my phones, and I have this. My wife stopped working a long time ago, and we're in. And now I want kids' college paid for. I want my retirement set up. I want to not ever think about healthcare, whatever it is. Dream it up. We want to start thinking of where we're going to move in 10 years when the kids all are in college.
The last live event that I had this conversation with 2 separate members, and it went like this. I didn't join Land Academy to work harder.
Yeah.
I did that at my job, my W-2 job.
Right.
I joined Land Academy to not work as hard and to do some stuff that I've wanted to do. And these are not coming from old people. These are people that are in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
And so what they did, and this is a separate conversation. In one case, this guy said, I send out a ton of mail, and I only buy 1 property a month that I know I'm going to make $100,000 on it. And so he makes $1 million a year. And he works like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours a week. And so that's his thing. And he's actually left the group because he's so successful. He just doesn't, he uses O2O, and he uses the data piece, but he's just
that's his
on
niche.
his own.
That's what he wants. That's what's his zen, and works for him and his family, and it's great.
Exactly. You can easily do that with houses, with House Academy. You're gonna have to pay $700,000 or $800,000 or $900,000 for a house to make $100,000 on it in general, not always. Actually, we bought $300,000 or $400,000 houses and made $100,000. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. That's why it's called scaling at your own pace, or according to you, and what makes sense to you.
Love it. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the Land Academy episode is called Restarting Life with a Plan. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Kind of another big picture topic, but it's really, really timely right now because there's a lot of people that are displaced job-wise, housing-wise, and they're having to take a step back and regroup.
I've been writing a book about this for young men for too long now. I have to finish it and get it published, but I have a lot to say. I'll say it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. Oh, go ahead, Jill. Sorry.
That's okay.
I got excited.
I'm so glad you're excited. He's excited. I'm excited. We hope you're excited. We hope you find this all valuable, and we really appreciate your support. Please check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button when you have time.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the type of content you're here for. Hitting the like button on your favorite episodes helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest in future shows.
We are Steven Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.